Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community, from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
The following program is produced by Law Media Network. The views and opinions expressed in this program are solely those of the individuals appearing on the show and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Law Media Network, its affiliates, sponsors, or partners. The information provided in this episode is for general informational purposes only and may not reflect the current law in your state or country. By watching and listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as legal advice and no attorney-client relationship between you, the host, or guest. You are advised to seek legal counsel concerning your legal question or concern from a lawyer licensed in your state, country, or appropriate licensing jurisdiction.
All right. Oops. Capacity. Ooh. We'll see what that's about later. But hey,
we
how
have
are
to
you?
remove that. Okay.
And how are you? How are you, Atty Aileen? It's been a while. It's been a while. That's
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. Hello, Christian. Good evening. Good evening, Texas, especially Houston here, and of course, good morning, Philippines. Welcome to Legal Trees. This is our fourth episode. My name is Aileen Ligotizon. I'm an attorney licensed here in the state of Texas, and with me here is Christian Toledo.
Hi. Yeah, I'm here to ask questions, and I'm always needing legal advice, so I'm happy to be here.
You're always needing legal advice.
Don't ask me why.
So your bill is already too long.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This is me making up for it. So, yeah, how you been? How was your Christmas holidays?
Oh well, spend time. I spent time with family, of
Mhm.
course. I didn't have a chance to go to the Philippines, but
Mhm.
I joined them via, Zoom. No, actually, it's not Zoom. It's the Facebook,
Facebook Live.
the Messenger. That
Yeah,
FaceTime. I don't know what you call
yeah. You
it.
just call people.
Video call. Yes, that's how I reconnected with my family in the Philippines. Okay, and how about you, Christian? For sure, he has some exciting stories to tell us.
I don't know if it's exciting, but yeah, went to the Philippines, spent time family. Went to my sister's wedding. Went to Singapore. Went to Boracay. Like, yeah, so
Wow,
a
full
lot
pack.
happened.
So, did you do some video blogging or?
A little bit, a little bit. I still need to edit a lot of stuff, but I try to like uh do some like personal projects over there, and we'll see how they come.
Did you eat a lot?
Yes, yes. I was telling earlier how I'm like right now I'm always hungry because I ate nonstop when I was there
Yeah.
and like had a couple bouts with diarrhea as
Oh
well.
yeah. Well, I think it goes with it, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you
It's worth
ate-
it. It's worth it.
Did you say you went to Singapore, so you ate
Yeah.
food there?
You know
Kind of
what?
spicy, right? And then Philippines.
When I was in Singapore, some people I was with had the diarrhea because of oysters.
Oh.
And then when I went to Boracay, I had diarrhea because of oysters. So I think like everyone
So you
stay
can't-
away from
yeah.
oysters right now.
I am staying away from any clam shells, oysters,
Mm.
and all that because I had some same problems. So I thought that I have allergic allergic
Mm,
reaction to the, but I didn't have any allergic reaction then when I was in the Philippines.
mm.
So I don't know if it is something to do from with where did it come from,
Or how
or
it's cooked.
how it's cooked. Yeah,
Mm.
but definitely you need to be prepared for all of these things that could happen in your life, because life is full of uncertainties,
I like
right?
that. I like that segue.
Yeah, there's only one thing that is certain in life, that is death, that we're all gonna pass away.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
when we pass away, we're not gonna bring anything. And we all know that, right?
Yeah. So I guess like going on topic now. Legal treats. Yeah. Why are we, remind us, why are we doing this again?
Well, because this is my treat for everybody. This is part of my advocacy to make sure that justice is being served to all, like it's available to all, not just those who can pay. So that's why I do some pro bono works as well. I work with other nonprofit organizations, and I have my own nonprofit which is going to be serving the community here in Greater Houston soon. So watch out for that. Um, and I'm also with Toji, which is a Texas incubator, justice incubator. So we offer some certain number of hours for free legal services that we offer to people who are not whose means of income, is not cannot
Mm.
pay high fees. So we try to provide that one to make sure that at least these people will be able to assert their rights under the law, to be fair. Although really being fair, fairness and just, it's really a challenge for all of us. But we're trying. Everybody is also trying to do something for the community.
Quick question.
Yeah.
When you said about what you said about the justice incubator, is this different from when when they read your Miranda rights? If you can't afford the lawyer, the government will provide one for you. Is this different or?
It's different. It's a program of the Texas Bar
Mm,
here in Texas, of course. So that's what we do. So the one that you're saying is actually that is part of your right. So they have to. That's why we have some pro bono attorneys, ad
mhm.
litem attorneys, so we can at least make sure that they are protected. These people who cannot afford to pay high fees of attorneys or
Mm.
legal representation, maybe will still be able to protect their rights.
And I
So
remember I heard like, or I saw like a documentary about like uh lawyers like from the government. They handle like so many cases. They spend only minutes reading each case. That is
yeah,
that
I think
true?
you're talking about the public office,
Mm-hmm.
PAO. Yeah, public attorney's office.
Oh, we
Yeah.
have a comment from MJ Concepcion. Hi, Attorney Aileen and Christian. Great to have legal treats back. Hey,
Yes, and great to have you here in the
very
studio.
very far. Like she's like
She's
3 feet
already,
from
I
me.
know, right? But we're happy to be, that you are here, our studio audience tonight. So, and yeah, and also MJ, Happy New Year. So I'm looking directly to MJ now. So anyway, this show, of course, is made possible by
Mm.
Lawin Media Network in partnership with our chamber, the Philippine American Chamber of Commerce Greater Houston Region, these legal treats.
And you're watching us live on Facebook, on YouTube, and even if you missed this episode live, you can find us still on YouTube and Facebook. It's recorded in there, and then we have it on podcast apps like Spotify, Apple Music, Pandora, anywhere you get your podcast. And if it's not there, let us know, and we'll try to put it in there. But yeah, uh,
Yeah, so if it, like I said, like Christian said, if you miss it, just go to those podcasts that you have, and then of course Facebook and YouTube. It's always going to be there. So, Christian, we're ready to dive in.
yes, and
But
if anyone's watching and they have questions, just put it on the comments. We'll try to answer them for you. If not today, we'll answer them in other episodes.
yes, and also before we forget, if you are watching us right now, post a comment or greetings and tell us where you are located right now, and tag some friends, so you will be added into a raffle draw later on, and you may win some
Get
prizes.
out of jail free.
Yeah, it could be something, but we'll let you know. All right. So before we start,
Mm-hmm.
Christian.
Oh, what was I supposed to say?
Well, we're gonna go on a break before
Oh
we
yeah,
start.
yeah. We're gonna go on break. Get your questions ready, and we'll be back.
So stick around.
Get excited. Be bold. Season 2 is coming.
The upcoming season of Be Bold is nearly here, and it promises to be an exhilarating adventure.
Tune in live Monday, February 5th, 7 p.m. Central Standard.
All right, we're back.
Yes, we're back. So again, we're here. Legal Treats. We're live right now. So if you have any comments, questions, greetings, post them now, and Christian and I will be reading
Yeah.
your comments.
And pwede rin Tagalog.
Oo
We
naman.
have people
Pwede rin
listening from the
Pangasinense.
Philippines. Yeah, pwede rin
Or-
Spanish.
yeah.
Pero hindi namin
We'll
masasagot. Pero
try
pwede.
Jubal is here, oh.
Hi, Jewel. Watching from Pasig. Yes. Hi, Jewel.
Okay, sa mga taga-Pasig dyan, magandang umaga sa inyong lahat.
And
Sa
MJ
mayor
from
dyan,
Thailand.
magandang umaga. Okay,
So,
yes.
what are we gonna talk about
So, seryoso
today?
na tayo ngayon,
Mhm.
Christian, okay?
Mhm.
Ano bang tanong mo sa akin?
Ano bang requirements? I guess a little bit of a review of what we've talked about before. So we talk about the will and what happens if you don't have it and why we need it. And now I guess what are the requirements of
Yes.
starting like this whole process?
Ito, you remembered what we talked about last time, no?
Mhm.
Mayroon
I
ka
think
na bang
about
will?
that all the time. No.
Wala pa rin, no? Okay. Anyway, I'm not Christian. Well, last time we talked about the will, that we said that there are two types of will. There's a holographic and there's the formal will. When we say holographic will, again, it's a will that is entirely written in your own handwriting. So own handwriting, because when we present that in court, we have to prove that is the handwriting of the person who passed away. So if you ask somebody to write it for you, or part of that is written by your spouse or your friend, then it may be it may not be proved as a will. So it could be revoked, or it's not gonna be given effect if it's not entirely written in your handwriting. That's a holographic will. Now, if you choose that way, make sure that you do it right. Now, the other type of will is the formal will. This is a purely typewritten will naman. So, kailangan purely typewritten yan. Hindi pwedeng magkahalo ang handwriting and then typewritten. Kaya nga, if you're going to, if you're going to download a will and do it yourself, you must DIY, do it yourself, DIY. Na will dyan, and then fill in the blanks. Be careful with that one, because that means you are going to mix your handwriting and the typewritten words in there. So magkakaroon ka ng problema dyan later on once you bring it to the court. So ngayon naman, there are different requirements between the two, the holographic and the typewritten will. The holographic is more of like informal. So basta you wrote it in your handwriting and you sign it, then that's already your will. It doesn't have to be witnessed because it's a holographic will. So, but just be careful with the wordings that you're going to be using, because you know that will is going to be subjected to interpretation. So when you're writing your will, you may be thinking of something, because that's your will. Sometimes your things faster than you're writing it.
You're already like thinking about death, or you might be already dying. So
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is, you already thought you wrote the word, and then yung pala hindi, because mas mabilis ang mag-isip kaysa magsulat, di ba? So be careful when you're writing it. When you are drafting your will and using holographic will. Now, as opposed to typewritten will naman, may ibang mga mas mahigpit ang requirements niyan, and it's definitely you have to follow the requirements to make sure that will is not going to be invalidated when you prove it to the court. So the first thing that you need to make sure when you are drafting your will,
Mhm.
make sure that you have the capacity to draft the will. You have the legal capacity. So
Oh.
when we pakita natin yan, capacity there. So when we talk about capacity, it's your ability, legal capacity pinag-uusapan dito
Mhm.
to draft a will. So ano ba yung capacity, Christian? Yung 4 years old ba pwede nang gumawa ng will?
Hindi. Kasi hindi
Bakit?
marunong magsulat.
Oo nga naman sa bagay. Eh di ba
At
pwede ka
saka wala
naman
naman siya ari-arian pa.
eh paano naman yung 12 years old? Pwede na yun, magaling na yun. Ano,
Parang hindi
magsulat. Yung
pa.
12 years old, ano na yan eh. Ilang ano na ba yun? High school na ba yun?
Middle school?
Middle school dito yan, yeah. So, yun, nakakapagsulat na yun. Magaling na magsulat ang mga yan.
True.
Oh, pwede na ba siya mag-draft
Parang
ng
hindi
will?
pa.
Parang hindi ka sure. Actually, ang legal capacity unang-una is nasa tamang edad na ba yan? Ang tamang edad ay 18 years old and above. Okay?
Ito, both Philippines and the US?
Well, ganun din. Kasi ang medyo majority sa Philippines ay 18 eh. Diba? So, dito ganun din. So, 18 years old, you're already considered adult. Diba? And so, you can already draft your will. Pareho din ang requirements yan na to enter into contract. A minor cannot enter into a contract. So, if you enter a contract with the minor, be careful, be aware, no, pwede kayo invalidate yan. So, if you're already 18 years old, you can already draft your will because you already have the legal capacity to draft your will. Now, aside from the age, 18 years old ka nga, pero may problema ka naman sa mentally. Hindi tama yung pag-iisip mo, di ba? So, doon papasok yung mental capacity mo. Kailangan, you are of sound mind.
Paano na may measure yun? How do people measure?
Kuha ka ng tape measure, ganyan.
May sound.
Ay, okay, may sound. Tignan ko may sound yung mind mo, Christian. Anyway, yeah, sound mind. Palagi mo narinig yun, ano? But ang ibig sabihin lang nun you know what you're doing. When you are drafting your will, you know that you are drafting your last will and you know that document that you are drafting. Alam mo ang legality ng will, you know? And also, kailangan alam mo yung bounty mo. Alam mo yung mga assets mo. Kasi kung hindi mo alam, paano ka magda-draft? Kasi yung mga factors na yon, alam mo yung effect ng will na yon. Alam mo ang mangyayari. Yung mga ganon. So, that's what they say, sound mind. But of course, yung iba dyan na may mga medical issue, di ba? O kaya naman may mga makakalimutin na. Dito, very popular yun ng dementia, mga ganyan. COVID brain.
They say COVID brain, like after COVID, if you notice you're forgetful, you don't.
Talaga?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Kaya pala nakalimutan kita.
Kaya pala nalimutan yung mga utang ko.
Okay, no. Anyway, yun. Hindi porket meron kang mental problem, ay hindi ka na pwedeng mag-draft ng will mo. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na lucid interval, di ba? Lucid interval, yung minsan meron
moments na episodes.
Maayos ka. Tamang pag-iisip mo, alam mo kung sino ka, nasaan ka, at anong ginagawa mo, di ba? So, pwede yun because ang requirement lang naman is at the time you're drafting and executing your will, you are of sound mind. You know what you're doing at the time you are making. So, pagkatapos, let's say na-execute mo na, tapos nawala ka na, nagka-episode ka na naman, that is okay. Kasi at that time, you know, you are, during the time you are in your lucid interval, you know what you're doing. Kaya lang pag mga ganon, mga situation, you have to make sure na meron kang talagang witnesses and you can prove that during that time, tama yung pag-iisip mo because that could be a subject for contest. You know, pwede nilang questionin yan kung sino man yung gusto mag-question na, wait a minute, I don't believe that he was or she was or they, you know, that the testator has a mental capacity at that time because he has a medical problem, mental problem, ganyan. So ngayon, i-contest nila yon. Now you have to prove na nasa tamang edad tamang pag-iisip yung yung
Na-encounter mo na ba to?
Ako hindi sa sarili ko.
Okay. Or nalimutan mo lang?
Nakalimutan ko lang. Hindi, yeah, that's true. So in cases like that, I make sure that my client, if I'm the one drafting the will for my client, I want to make sure that we have the enough evidence to support our claim. So
Mhm.
if I have the doctor certification that at that time he's making it, or the client, my client is drafting it, that he was of sound mind, that he has the capacity to do it, the mental capacity to do it. Now, sometimes we videotape it to make sure that we have evidence. And of
Mm.
course, aside from that, the witnesses. Kasi yung witnesses talaga, that's why it's an important, requirement ang witnesses.
Mhm.
Yan.
And
So,
witness, can you remind us, sinong pwedeng witness?
okay, so the next requirement yan, aside from capacity, we already mentioned that it has to be in writing, right? No,
Mhm.
na tayo dyan. Now, the second is, oh sige, witnesses. Sa time, jump tayo, witnesses. Okay.
Sige, mamaya pa pala.
Hindi
Pwede
kasi
naman.
okay lang witnesses.
Mhm.
Capacity, ano yung susunod natin yan? In writing, we already said, hindi pwede, oh, by the way, let's go back to in writing. In writing, ibig sabihin, nakasulat, di ba?
Mhm.
So, no oral will is allowed here in the state of Texas. Okay?
Mm.
Kasi, di ba, minsan nanonood ka ng
Yeah,
movie,
yeah.
mamamatay na yung let's say yung bida,
Mhm.
tapos nandun na yung nurse, I have, listen to this.
Aha.
Or record, di ba, ngayon may cellphone na, take a video of me. This is
Mhm.
my last will and testament. You're declaring that that is your last will and testament, that you're giving everything to your nurse, because your nurse was very nice to you,
Wow.
right? Yung mga ganun na habilin, which maybe yun talaga yung gusto ng tao, nung
Mhm.
mismong tao na gumagawa ng kanyang declaration, but ginawa niya ng verbal, ng
Mhm.
oral. So that is not allowed here. It's not valid. It has to be in writing, whether it's in your handwriting or typewritten. Yan ang ibig sabihin
But
ng
no
in writing.
combination.
No combination. And then yung mga video recording ninyo, hindi
Mhm.
po pwede yan, or voice recording, hindi po pwede, or kahit na may mga 10 pa yung witnesses mo, at
Mhm.
that time nung sinasabi mo yon, hindi po pwede yun pag oral. Has to be in writing. Okay? Next
Nice.
naman natin yung signature. Tama ba ako?
Signature.
Yeah, signature. So sa signature naman, of course, if it is a holographic will, sinabi natin, has to be in writing at kailangan signed by the testator.
Mhm.
The testator is the one who's drafting the will. Kung ikaw yung gumagawa ng will mo, testator ka. Pag babae ka, testatrix. That's just the terms.
Mm.
But neutral term is testator. Babae man, lalaki, whatever, ay testator ang tawag diyan. So, kailangan mayroon kang signature. Pag holographic will yan, sulat kamay mo at may pirma ka. Kasi pag we bring that one to court, we need to bring witnesses who will testify that that is your handwriting and that is your signature.
Another thing I see in movies, fingerprint.
It could qualify, pero meron the other way. Ang dito kasi sa Texas, ang practice is if you cannot sign it, you can have somebody sign it for you. But has to be in your presence. Kailangan nandun ka, nakita mo nagsasign. You can do that. Let's say for example, may akong client one time na hindi na siya makapagsulat.
Mhm.
Talagang hindi niya kaya, but mentally alam niya yung nangyayari. It's just the ability to sign. So pwede naman yon, but you have witnesses. And then, as long as that person who's signing it for you is doing it in front of you, of the testator, and nakikita mo talaga.
Another thing I encounter a lot is, when someone sends you a document online, it's a PDF, you sign on like Adobe Acrobat, but it's not your signature. It's like just whatever typewritten.
Well, for the will, no, it has to be signed by you, wet ink for now. I mean, it could change, but the law is the same. Yung mga signature naman na, I think what you're trying to say is yung
Like e-signatures.
no, hindi pa sa ngayon. That's not yet allowed.
Mm.
So e-signature, no. But for other documents, like for example, yung mga filing namin sa court, allowed na yung mga e-signature. So may mga documents na allowed na, pero sa will, you have to actually sign your will in front of your witnesses. Yun pa ang requirement ngayon. Ano pa ang tanong mo sa signature?
Yun lang. Kasi pangit yung signature ko eh. Okay lang ba yun?
Oo, okay lang yan. Basta signature mo. Anong mahalaga signature mo yun? Next one that we have here ay witnesses. Ano yung tanong mo kanina about witnesses?
Who is qualified as witness? Pwede bang man on the street? Dapat ba kaibigan mo? Pwede bang kaibigan mo, kamag-anak? Or...
naman, yes. As long as yung kaibigan mo, kamag-anak mo, or man on the street, at least 14 years old and above dito sa Texas, pwede nang maging witness yan sa will. 14 years old, pwede na silang mag-witness sa will. And the other thing that you have to remember if you're asking somebody to be a witness on your will, kailangan hindi siya beneficiary sa will mo. So let's say for example,
Mm.
in my will, I'm giving something to you. Let's say,
Yes.
oh Christian, I'm giving you $1.
Wow. 1 Bitcoin.
Oo. Dahil yung pangalan mo ay nasa will, and you're a beneficiary doon sa will, you
Mm.
cannot be a witness doon sa will. You have to find somebody na pwedeng maging witness mo doon sa will mo. Hindi rin pwede, please lang, wag din um, yung notary public kasi you're gonna have it notarized, right?
Mm.
So, wag yung notary public kasi the notary public is actually declaring there that that he saw or she saw you sign, the notary public saw you sign the document, he cannot be a witness to himself. So, para hindi
Mm.
mawalang bisa yung kanyang notaryo, kailangan hindi siya rin yung witness doon. Can you have more than two? Of course, you can have as many witnesses as you if you really wanted to do that. But no, the minimum requirement is at least two witnesses who are 14 years old and above. And of course, they are of sound mind naman. Of course, they know what's going on.
Mm.
They know that you're witnessing, that they were witnessing you sign you're signing your last will and testament.
Do they just show up, or did they also sign something saying that they're a witness? Are their names somewhere in there?
Yeah, of course. They have to
Mm.
because you have to make sure that they are, qualified to be witnesses. Kailangan meron silang identity kasi nga the notary public is gonna be in trouble din kapag
Mhm.
ninotarize niyo tapos hindi niya in-identify yung wala siyang means of identifying these people, yung mga witnesses. So you have to show your driver's license, or other identification card that you are the person and that you are of that age. Yan, ganun yun. And the requirement is, if you're witnessing the testator signing the document, you have to be present there, physically present when when the testator is actually signing the will. Now, my question dyan, na let's say for example you're in one room, no? Let's say yung testator is executing the last will and testament sa bed niya sa room kasi hindi siya mobile eh. Nasa bed lang siya, bedridden or something like that na hindi na nakakatayo. And then the door is open, the witnesses are nandyan sa labas ng door.
Mhm.
Nandito siya nagsasign.
Oh.
Kasi may tanong yan na, kailan ba talaga na nandun ako na tinitingnan ko talaga na nagsasign siya. Mas maganda sana kung gano'n, di ba?
Mhm.
Pero ina-allow din naman yung at least you're there, you're aware na nagsasign siya.
Mm.
Doon or nakikita mo na nagsasign siya kahit na medyo malayo kung nakikita mo na nagsasign siya.
Mag-selfie pa kayo habang nagsasign siya.
And at the same time then, yung the testator, of course, the testator signed the will, di ba?
Mhm.
And then the witnesses will sign after the testator.
Mhm.
Huwag nyo namang pag-signin yung witnesses bago yung testator because nagwi-witness nga sila, di ba? So, kailangan the testator has to sign first and then after the testator sign, yun namang mga witnesses. So, habang nagsasign ng mga witnesses, dapat aware din yung testator na, na nagsasign sila, nakikita niya nagsasign sila. So, yun yung sa mga witnesses.
Do they also need to know what's inside the will, or they just
No,
have
they
to?
don't have to.
Okay.
They're only witnessing the act of signing, that that's a
Mm.
signature of the testator. That's a good thing because of confidentiality. Of
Yeah.
course, your last will, you do not intend to disclose it to anybody.
Mhm.
Then hindi mo kailangang basahin.
Dahil pa naman chismosa.
Oo, yan kasi baka mamaya i-chismis nila, di ba? Ngayon, may nagtanong sa akin, attorney, kailangan ba ako mag-appear sa court? Kasi, I'm not comfortable appearing in court pag sakali man. So sabi ko, naman sa kanya, not necessarily. Dito sa Texas kasi meron tayong tinatawag na self-proving affidavit. So, we execute that affidavit simultaneously doon sa execution ng last will and testament. Yung self-proving affidavit na yon, pipirma doon yung testator, pipirma din yung yung witnesses na dalawa, and then it has to be notarized to be valid.
Mhm.
Kasi parang ang yun it's an act na yung mga witnesses, what they're supposed to be doing later on, going to court testifying, they're already doing it there.
Mhm.
That's a self-proving affidavit. Kung wala yon, then you'll have to bring the witnesses to court para i-prove nila yon. But they already did it ahead of time. Not all states are doing this or accept this self-proving affidavit. But here in Texas, yes, we are. It is valid. It is accepted, and we can legally do it. So ngayon, kapag not properly executing self-proving affidavit niyan, then you'll have to bring witnesses to the court. I have a recent probate case na the person who drafted the will,
Mhm.
actually, I don't know where he got that will. I think they just drafted it, downloaded it from somewhere.
Mm.
And then there's so many gray areas in that will, but the immediate one was the self-proving affidavit. The self-proving affidavit was not properly done because nobody explained it to them. They just downloaded it. So ang akala nila, what they did, yung last piece na yon, yung titled self-proving affidavit, hindi pumirma yung testator, tsaka hindi pumirma yung witnesses. What they did, because there's a blank, di ba? Fill in the blank. So they just put in the names. The notary public wrote the names of the testator and the witnesses, and then notarize it. I don't understand why this will happen, because as a notary public, if you read that one, you're saying there that you witnessed them sign. Sinulat mo eh. So what are you witnessing, right? So I mean, wala kasing nag-explain. And that's the difference between you just doing it yourself. If you're doing it yourself, make sure that you're reading everything, that you're understanding it. Otherwise, you're going to do it wrong.
And here in the US, kahit sino pwede maging notary, di ba?
No, not everybody. You have to be certified.
Yeah, pero hindi mo kailangan maging lawyer.
Yeah, as compared to the Philippines, you have to be a lawyer to be a notary public. Dito, hindi. You just have to get that certification. Ngayon, so yung nangyari din sa case na yan, sa probate case na yan, I have to bring witnesses to the court to testify on the signature. Buti na lang available pa yung mga witnesses na nag-sign doon, so I brought them to the court. And then they have to testify as to the signature and to the mental capacity and everything.
It's a whole process.
Yes. So, yun lang yun. But it could have been done if it was done properly, mas madali na lang yung probate namin. I don't have to bring the witnesses. So that's why it's very important that you know these requirements, because if you did not comply with any of these requirements, it could either invalidate your will or it could cost you more. Cost you more in this case, yung self-proving affidavit, and I have to bring the witnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah, diba? And then we have to draft additional documents. Di mas madaming trabaho riyon, diba? So, don't forget, yung mga basic requirements ng valid will ay, ano nga ba yun?
Capacity.
May capacity ka ba?
Meron.
Okay.
Mental, we'll check pa natin.
Usually, if they're not sure about your mental capacity, they ask, the requirement is at least 2 doctors will examine you and certify that you are
my sister's a
mentally
doctor.
capacity.
And at MJ, we'll pretend at MJ.
Hindi pwedeng pretend. Has to be capacity in writing, signature, witnesses, and self-proving affidavit here in the state of Texas. All right.
It's a lot.
And there's more. Marami pa kayong dapat kailangan na malaman kung ano ang mga pwedeng gawin at hindi nyo dapat gawin when you are drafting your will. And we'll talk more about that when
we come back. Yeah, so stay tuned. All right, we're back.
Yes, we're back. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, greetings, post it now, and Christian will read them. Have
Yeah.
questions, I'll try to answer them.
If you need a witness for your affidavit, call me. For a small fee, I will sign.
Uy, grabe naman. By the way, when we present a witness to the court, one of the questions that I asked, did anybody promise you any monetary or financial gain for you to testify in court? And the answer should be no. So ito si Christian, no?
Even if you don't, I'll just assume. Even if you don't promise, I'll just assume.
Okay, so before our break, I mentioned to you na aside from the basic requirements of the law, in order for you to make sure that you have a valid last will and testament here in the state of Texas, marami pa kayong dapat na isipin at maging watch out kayo sa mga possible mistakes na to. And they're very common. Sometimes, very common siya na akala nyo tama na siya, diba? We're gonna show you a sample of a will.
Yeah, that's why I'm wearing my glasses.
Oo,
'cause I
kasi
need to
Christian
read
will
this.
read it.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna start reading and they could catch up. Okay.
Yeah. So, and the first one, let's go back there.
There you go.
Hold on, before you read this, Christian, what do you think? What kind of will is this?
Holographic.
Bakit?
Kasi written siya.
What? Check.
Yeah.
Yes. Pwedeng pumasa. Okay. So, basahin mo, Christian.
August 27, 2001. Oh, medyo recent.
2001, ha?
Oh, no, 2021.
Ay,
Told you I need my
malibasa
glasses.
mo.
Recent talaga. My last will. Oh, may title pa. I, married no, make this last will. I give my entire estate to Daddy. If Daddy passes before me, I give my entire estate to Annie and Benny. I give my diamond ring to my favorite cousin Jen. I leave my card to my good friend Terry Smith.
And then
Signed, married no.
all right. So, interesting, no? Aside from maganda yung handwriting niya, tsaka kulang na mga period.
Totoo.
Oo, di ba? Parang totoo, di ba? I'm thinking, usually mga ganito, nangyayari itong mga holographic will na to kapag meron sila magbabiyahe, di ba? Halimbawa, pupunta siya, magko-cruise siya. You know, hindi niya alam mangyayari. Wala pa akong will. Let me make sure meron akong at least something in writing. So, kaya naman, if you notice, you know, it's not properly done. Hindi siya masyadong polido, hindi kompleto, at marami tayong nakikitang mga mistakes. So, let's ask Christian. What do you think, Christian, ang una mo napansin dito na sa tingin mo ay magiging issue later on?
Si Daddy.
Bakit si Daddy? Bakit si Daddy
Sino ba
ay
si Daddy?
Oh,
Diba?
yeah. Sino si Daddy? Okay.
Yung iba, tawag sa akin Daddy. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Diba?
Pwedeng daddy niya ay na biological dad niya. Pwede namang daddy na
Sugar Daddy.
Sugar daddy niya. Oh, 'di ba sometimes yung spouse mo tawag mo din daddy, mommy, 'di ba? Tawagan niyo daddy, mommy para yung
Umalay mo talagang Daddy yung pangalan ng
pwede
tao,
rin
pero walang
daddy yan.
apelyido.
Oo. So in other words, ito ay hindi malinaw. It's vague.
We have a comment too.
Ambiguity. Yes.
Ate MJ says you have to specify the name.
Tama. You have to specify the name, and when you specify the name, you have to be very, very, very specific because as you see, part of this will also, when you go a little bit down there, sabi niya doon, if Daddy passes before me, I give my entire estate to Annie and Benny. What is the problem with Annie and Benny? What could be the problem with Annie and Benny?
The two most common names.
How can that be a problem or an issue later on?
Because it's also like Annie who and Benny who. Is it like Annie? There's no surnames and yeah.
Okay, so there could be 5 Annies involved in the life of Mary, right? Or Benny. Si Benny ba, tao, baka naman dog. Di mo rin alam, di ba? Pwede mo bang dito sa Texas, pwede bang magmana ang pet? Directly, no. So, hindi mo rin alam. So, again, ambiguous yung language dito, kulang ng clarity, hindi specific. Okay? Pero sa isip ni Mary, alam niya kung sino mga gusto niyang bigyan, right? Alam niya kung sinong Annie at sinong Benny yung sinasabi niya dito at sinong Daddy. Pero tayo na mag-i-interpret o ang court na mag-i-interpret, hindi alam. Diba? So that is, yun ang potential problem. Now, dun sa last sentence, ano yung last sentence? I give my diamond ring to my favorite cousin. At least nakalagay favorite cousin.
Pinag-away pa iba niyang pinsan, di ba?
Si Jen, ang favorite cousin niya. Ano naman maging issue dito? I give my diamond ring to my favorite cousin Jen.
Again, walang specification kung sinong Jen.
Sino si Jen, right? Paano kung isa lang naman talaga ang pinsan niya ang pangalan Jen? At least si Jen makaka-receive nun, di ba? Paano kung wala na yung diamond ring?
Paano? Wala naman talaga siyang diamond ring. Hindi hinanap pa nila, wala pa.
Paano kung wala talaga siyang diamond ring? Ibig sabihin, hindi niya alam yung kanyang mga, yung kanyang
hindi siya of sound mind.
bounty. Hindi siya of sound mind because nag-hallucinate siya. Di ba? So, yun yung mga, that could be a potential problem there.
Another one, I guess, going back, again, sa mga napapanood or napabasa, first thing na sinusulat nila, kunwari, example, I married no, of sound mind and body. Kailangan ba talaga isulat yun?
Not necessarily, but iba, they just do it for the purpose na, I know what I'm doing. But again, kapag ka na-question naman, you have to show proof. So, but I just put it there. Just, kasi declaration mo yun eh. That I'm declaring at this time, I am of sound mind and I know what's going on in my life. I know what I'm doing. I know the bounty of my bounty, my wealth. I know where my property is located. It's like declaration mo rin kasi yun eh. So, you but it will really not, it's not fatal if ever you didn't put it there.
Kasi sa Pilipinas, di ba, kunwari sabihin mo, uy, hindi ako baliw parang, ibig sabihin,
mas baliw ka. Yeah, oo nga eh. Terry Smith. Specific naman siya, si Terry Smith yun eh. Ano naman kaya ang potential problem dito or issue sa tingin nyo? Anong car? Diba? Paano kung 5 yung cars niya? Kasi nurse siya. Daming mga cars na mga nurses dito. Diba? Which car? So ngayon, sasabihin ni Terry, of course, yung BMW. Alam ka naman kunin ko yung Kia, sabi niya, diba? Favorite ako niyan, best friend nga kami. So, I'm pretty sure bibigyan niya sa akin BMW. Syempre, kukontes siya ng mga other heirs, diba? So, that's why this is not clear again. Again, ambiguity, vagueness. Kailangan iwasan nyo yon when you are drafting your will. Diba? So, yan lang naman isa sa mga, but common yan, yung mga vagueness, common yan. Yung isang case na hinandle ko, holographic will siya, and they're about to go to a long trip. So their husband and wife, and the wife wrote the will. So nakalagay doon is ang lagay niya doon is we, I, and we, pinagpapalit-palit niya yung word na yon, because when she was drafting that one, she's thinking that dalawa sila. So when she drafted that, she said, I'm leaving, or sabi niya, the house will be split among my children, and meron siyang stepchildren. So half will go to my children equally, and the other half will go to my stepchildren equally. Dalawa yung stepchildren, yung mga anak niya, I can't remember, but there are more than 2. So ngayon, bakit naging issue yon? Kasi when she drafted the will, she's thinking about the entire house, diba? Entire property. And remember, here in Texas, it's community property. What she is actually disposing in her will is just half of that. And the other half belongs to the husband. So that's why you should know your bounty, you should know your assets, your estate when you're drafting it para alam mo malinaw. So when she did that, ang nangyari doon, that yung husband, syempre yung kalahati ng property mapunta doon sa pinagbigyan niya, binigyan niya sa 2 anak niya. So half na sa kanila, 'di ba? Yung half niya, kalahati pa noon binigay niya doon sa not knowing, unintentionally. Because of the words na ginamit niya, it's vague. Ako, kasi Filipina rin yon.
Mhm.
And then yung mga anak niya and all the others, they're thinking, ang ibig niyang sabihin is, yung kalahati ng bahay na yon, she's actually pertaining to the half share of the
Mhm.
husband. Yung kalahati sa mga anak niya,
Mhm.
equally. Pero because what you are disposing in your will is what you have at the time of your death, that's ganun ang interpretation nun. So
Mm.
nangyari, 3/4 na punta doon sa
True.
stepchildren, 1/4 na lang pinagati-hatian ng mga anak niya.
Mhm.
Because it's not clear. Because it's vague. It's ambiguous. It's not properly done. And that's the danger, the risk if you're writing it by yourself. Because sometimes what is your intention is not truly reflected on your writing if you're doing it by yourself.
Mm.
Okay, so think about that. Okay, MJ, Christian, mamaya pag umuwi ka, you're
My
writing your
kids.
will, Chat GPT. Chat
Oo
GPT,
nga,
write me a
no?
will. Diba? Now, there was a very controversial holographic will
Mhm.
written by somebody who's famous. Kaya nga controversial eh.
Mhm.
Let's show that will.
Oh,
Ano ba yan?
next.
Tama yan?
Oh, wow. Oh.
O bakit ang
Okay,
ganyan ng
this
handwriting,
is my
ano?
last will and testament.
Oh, ang galing mo magbasa. Ako, hindi ko masyadong
It should
mabasa.
replace my previous writings. Ano to?
Hirap, no?
Blank to my death, and after the above date, I want 100% of my funds to be divided
Equally
among
among
my children, Andy, Chris, Larry Jr., Chance, and another name. Larry King?
Oh, si Larry King. Si Larry King.
Wow.
Yeah, show the next slide. Let's show there, si Larry King.
Mhm.
Remember him? So, tignan mo very wealthy person,
Mhm.
celebrity, and handwritten yung kanyang will. Pero, sabi niya doon, meron siyang prior will na nirevoke niya. So, that
Mhm.
could be typewritten, well-made,
Mhm.
prepared will by an attorney. Siguro, no? We don't know. We haven't seen it. And then, he changed his mind.
Mhm.
He changed his mind. I think this will was made nung, I think he was about to die.
Ito,
Namatay na
2019.
2019, and he passed away
Mhm.
2020 ba yun?
I think so,
He passed
maybe.
away. So, he revoked it. Siguro very sick na siya dyan. He
Mhm.
knows what's happening. And he changed his mind.
Wow.
And so, ito yung kanyang, this could be considered, I said could be because it's litigated, it's
Mhm.
contested, heavily contested, because of so many reasons. Aside from
Mhm.
the fact na may mga ambiguity na rin
True.
dyan.
May erasures din.
Yeah, may erasures. Kino-question na lahat yan. Because Larry King was married at the time he drafted his first will, yung prior will na
Mhm.
sinasabi niya dyan. And then, he was already undergoing divorce. But the divorce was not finalized yet when he passed away. So hindi pa na wala, so hindi siya divorced. Married siya at the time na namatay. Now yung prior will niya, ang nakalagay doon na trustee niya yung wife niya na dine-divorce na niya.
Mhm.
Ongoing pa yun, hindi pa final. Hindi niya na mahintay. Kaya gumawa siya ng handwritten will niya. That's why it's being contested.
Wow.
Now, they're trying to have this revoked para pag na-revoke ito kasi, the prior will be implemented. And then, of course, iba yung kanyang mga tagapagmana doon.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, doon sa una, I think wala pa si Larry Jr. because hindi pa niya kilala yata si Larry Jr. when he drafted that.
Yeah.
And then in this will, dalawa na lang ang buhay when he passed away.
Naunahan pa siya.
Dalawa na lang. Si Larry
Wow.
King and I can't remember the other one. So, and it's heavily contested because kailangan talaga pag draft kayo ng will nyo, that don't stop just because you already have one. When there's a major change in your life, you have to revisit your estate planning documents, including your last will and testament.
Mm.
Because iba ang effect pagka may, let's say for example, na-divorce ka na, hindi mo pinalitan yung will mo. What's gonna happen doon sa binigay bequest mo doon sa
Mhm.
wife mo? You know, in Texas, of course, once you're divorced, you're automatically, yung whatever is given to you under the will is automatically revoked. But if you get married, remarry, not automatic yung wife mo na bago to step in. You have to amend your last will. Kasi walang pretermitted wife dito sa state of Texas. Pretermitted wife, yung wife na naging wife mo siya after mo na nagawa yung will mo. Pero may pretermitted child. Ibig sabihin, kahit yung child mo, hindi pa pinapanganak nung ginawa mo yung will mo, protected siya. Meron pa rin siya makukuha because meron tayong provision, a law, ng pretermitted child. So that child, that newly born child, or that child born after you drafted your will na hindi mo pa na amend, meron pa rin siya, he or she or the child will inherit under your will just like the other kids na nandoon.
Pero
So,
imagine, parang mga last words mo na, last request mo na, kino-contest pa. Parang,
oo, of course. When it
wow.
comes to inheritance, you know, it happens. Ang nakakalungkot pa dyan, well, you know, they minsan okay ang usapan nila magkakapatid or stepbrother, stepsister or stepmom, stepparents, right? No, I'm not. They'll say, no, I'm not gonna get my. I know that dad wanted you to have it, di ba? Maganon ang statement nila. So I'm not really gonna get. Because I know that. Halimbawa, yung sa second wife, no, I know that dad wanted you to have it, so I'm not gonna get anything from that. But when that person sees, oh, that's 1.5 million, magbabagong isip. So really, there's nothing is, you know, sure, nothing is
I
permanent.
know someone won Powerball in Houston, so
Sino?
whoever you are, make your will now.
Whoever you are, make sure that doon pangalan ni
I'll be a
Christian.
witness.
Okay, so if you have any question, go ahead, post your comment, your question. We still have time to read them, and we'll try to do that one when we come back after this short break.
All right.
Lawin Media Network.
Bringing to you the most relevant content across all platforms.
Business, legal, politics, health, lifestyle, and entertainment.
Your source for all the news and updates in the greater Houston community, from Texas and all over the world.
Get informed and empowered with Lawin Media Network.
All right. I guess that's it for now. What do you think? What do you think about this episode?
So I want to ask Christian, after you've heard all of this, you're thinking about making your will now?
Yeah. I'm
Right
gonna
now, penging ball
get
pen
more-
tsaka papel.
We have a witness. Everyone online.
Kulang na witness. Kailangan
We
dalawa.
have the maintenance person.
Yeah, so anyway, this is, I always ask this sa mga, nakakausap ko na wala pang will. If you don't have a will right now, if you don't have it yet, what's holding you back?
Right.
What? What is it that is more important than you preparing for your loved ones?
And I think you have like an ebook, right?
Yes.
to
So
guide
if you want to
people.
know more about essay planning, I have an ebook that is available for downloading for free. I think, yeah. All you need to do is just go to this URL. Can we please show the link on the screen if you can find it?
And we have a comment while we're trying to post.
Yeah.
Atty MJ says, "Great information. Thank you. Thank you, Atty MJ, for always listening to us."
Yes, it's a lot of information that you can share, to be honest. It's free information. So there it is. That is the link where you can download my essay planning ebook. There's a ton of information there for free. Now, if ever you are unable to download it, send us a message. This is a free download. All you need to do is to put in your email address, and that's it. Okay?
And there's still, like, even if you have this, hindi pa rin wala pa ring tatalo sa tunay na legal advice mula sa lawyers.
Of course, always. Because your situation may be different from others. Actually, we have our own unique circumstances. So your circumstance may be different from MJ's circumstance. So your needs may be different from her needs.
We have another question. How
Oh,
much
okay.
does it cost to prepare a formal will?
Naku, masyadong malaki. Masyadong mahal, hindi mo ma-afford. MJ ba yan? MJ?
Yeah.
No. Actually, it depends. Like I said, it depends on the amount of work. Now, when I say amount of work, it depends on your circumstances. Kasi, like you, MJ, you have children. Si Christian, wala. So you have more things that you need. You may want to include in your last will than Christian. Ikaw, MJ, 10 yung kotse mo. Si Christian, isa lang. Isa lang
Utang
ba?
pa.
Utang
Oo.
pa. So iba rin yung ano mo, yung kailangan mong ilagay doon sa last will mo, 'di ba?
May property sa
may
US, may
business ka
property sa
pa.
Pilipinas.
Yeah, my business. What I'm saying is that it depends on your needs. That's why it's important for you to consult an attorney, an estate planning attorney, para ma-evaluate yung mga kailangan. Kasi it would be a disservice if I'm just gonna give you a ready-made will, that may not really address your concern or protect you and your family, your loved ones, and your assets when you passed away. So it's very important. And when you do your estate planning, it's not just a will, MJ. It's not just a will. There's more to that. So I would suggest, if wala ka pang estate planning documents, mag-set ka na ng appointment sa sino mang estate planning attorney na gusto mong puntahan. Anybody sa state of Texas. Now, if you have properties in California, it would be best for you to consult an attorney in California.
Pag meron din sa Philippines.
Ganon din sa Philippines because may iba-iba ang batas. Estate law is a state law. All right? Iba-iba yan sa bawat states. Ganon din sa ibang bansa. So it's always best to consult an attorney licensed to serve, licensed to practice in that state.
So will it end up like you have one will here and then one will in the Philippines?
Yeah, that could happen. But if I do it, kung ako, I can just, for me kasi I have a way dahil if you're knowledgeable of the law there, yung license there, you know what's going on, tsaka yung ibang lawyer, they will refer you to somebody who knows the law there as well para hindi ka para talagang maprotektahan yung mga yung rights mo, ma-enforce mo and to make sure that you comply with the requirements of the law. Now some people they have different properties in different states. And sabi nila, how am I gonna just make one document kaysa naman mayroon akong will sa Texas, may will ako sa California, may will ako sa Florida. Meron din, pwede rin merong solution na isang document na lang yan. And that could be our next topic. Kaya abangan ninyo. And I'm talking about probably possibility of creating a trust if you have properties in multiple jurisdictions, multiple states.
Which is one of our questions right now. Will or trust ang kailangan ko?
Yeah. So abangan mo, Lysel, sa susunod nating mga episodes here sa Legal Treats. All right? Right. So Christian.
I guess we have one more. I don't know if we have time, but how to avoid probate? Why to avoid probate?
Bakit gusto mong i-avoid ang probate?
Ay, si Lysel ang gustong umiwas. Hindi ako.
Ikaw, Lysel, ha? Yeah, actually, of course, you can avoid probate kung tama ang estate planning mo. Okay, so that's why it's important for you to consult an attorney licensed in your jurisdiction so you can prepare for all of this. Kasi the attorney will look into your circumstances, your estate, will look into your assets, and will look into the law and what are your wishes. What do you want to happen? So matutulungan ka mag-plan if you really need to avoid probate or hindi naman talaga problema. And bakit kailangan mong i-avoid yung probate? That's also another question. Sometimes I ask people, why do you want to have a trust instead of a will? Oh, because I don't want probate. O, di ba? May ganun. So, abangan niyo yan. Marami pa kaming pag-usapan ni Christian dito sa
Legal Treats.
All right. So, we'll see you next month. Last
Yeah.
Wednesday of the month, that'll be February 29 kasi leap year ngayon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll see you on, tama ba ako, February 29
Double checking.
sa Lawin Media Network.
Yeah, if there's a will,
There's a way.
Wednesday is 28.
Ay, tama, mali ako. It's
Yeah.
going to be February 28, 6 p.m. Central Time. You can watch us live on the Facebook page and YouTube channel of
And-
Lawin Media Network.
All right.
And maraming salamat, Lawin Media Network. Maraming salamat, Philippine American Chamber of Commerce, Greater Houston Region. Maraming salamat, Christian.
Salamat.
Salamat, MJ. Maraming
Bye.
salamat. See you next time. Bye. Okay, pag mag,